Thank you very much. Further debate, I recognize the member from Scarborough-Guildwood.
Thank you, Speaker, and it is an honor to rise in this House on behalf of the people of Scarborough-Guildwood who elected me Speaker on August 1st, 2013, just 7 years ago. And throughout that time, Speaker, I've seen and had the opportunity to just see this province and to experience many aspects of it. But Speaker, since this government has been elected, I have never seen a government that has been so relentless to attack our democracy in so many ways. Yet again, we are back in this House to debate a bill that goes against that very spirit of our democratic process. Just today, we rammed through Bill 195, legislation that removes legislative oversight for the mandating of emergency orders and threatens charter rights in several ways. And now, Speaker, the government is pushing through Bill 197 without referral to committee or time for public or legislative scrutiny. This piece of omnibus legislation is 84 pages long, yet has little to do with the many pressing issues that Ontarians are facing today. They didn't even take the time, Speaker, to give the bill a proper name. It could have been called How to Further Dismantle Our Public Education Act, or How to Cut Corners on the Environment Act. This bill opens the way to sidestep important environmental assessment and public consultation. Ontarians want transit to be developed more quickly, and they want our economy to recover. And this is especially important in ridings and communities like mine in Scarborough-Guildwood, which relies on infrequent and crowded bus service. However, removing environmental protections is not the answer, Speaker. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, but we're also in the throes of another global event, climate change, environmental degradation, and loss of biodiversity. This affects communities like mine, which is located on the shores of Lake Ontario and surrounded by many parks and wetlands. The changes to Environmental Assessment Act included in this bill would water down and effectively remove the requirement for environmental assessments for development projects and silence the voices from communities that these projects will impact. And while communities like my riding of Scarborough-Guildwood want investment in public transit and other developments, people want to see land, water, and biodiversity preserved for future generations. Speaker, I must address the Minister of Education's claim that this bill is promoting equity. I just think, Speaker, the priorities of this government are just not correct. In fact, it surprises me that during a pandemic that this government has chosen to invest $500 million in jails, a very big number. Yet they have only invested $1.5 million in response to the concerns of Black youth and families to address inequities. So you would think that this government would understand that Black, Indigenous, and other people of color are far overrepresented in the criminal justice system and in jails, and that they would be doing something specifically to support that, if they are concerned about equity. But that is not the case. This bill goes further, Speaker. It removes the requirement that a Director of Education in our province's school boards be a certified teacher, further removing external oversight, as Directors of Education who are certified teachers are also governed by the Ontario College of Teachers, their ethical standards and standards of practice. This bill removes that additional oversight that students and parents and the entire school community understands and relies on. Speaker, there's more that I can say in this 84-page bill that's being tabled during a global pandemic, Speaker. Does not speak to the pressing needs of long-term care, of hiring more personal support workers, Speaker, and all of those concerns that we hear day in and day out, but rather dismantles those things that we treasure, public education and our environment. I will be voting against Bill 197. Thank you
very much.